Good evening, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Here we are on MLK Day. Man, what a hard fought battle for this to have happened. And how blessed are we to have the opportunity to share this evening, a very cold evening in Maryland, I'm telling you, with Sparky and Rhonda Rucker. Oh, by the way, my name is Lea Gilmore. I am the Minister for Racial Justice and Multicultural Engagement here at Govans Presbyterian Church. That's where you are right now, right here. You are in Govans Presbyterian Church in these little boxes. And I am also the First Service Music Director. We are so happy to have you here with us tonight. It's going to be one incredible evening of music. And before I go any further, I'm going to introduce you to our partner, my partner here in Music Monday Land, Maria Wong.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Maria Wong, and I am a member of Govans Presbyterian Church. I also work for the nonprofit arts organization Common Ground on the Hill, and we're recording tonight's program as part of our work as a Maryland Folklife Center of the Maryland State Arts Council. The video will be archived on the Common Ground on the Hill official YouTube channel, where you can find other Govans Music Monday programs and many other videos. While you're on YouTube, also check out the Govans Presbyterian Church YouTube channel, which includes recordings of sermons and the Govans Racial Justice Speaker Series. There is a lot of great stuff, so I hope you'll take a look. And now, back to Lea.
Thank you so much, Maria. Well, I get the distinct joy of introducing you to two of my favorite human beings. They just happen to be remarkably talented. So let me give you the inside of who they are. Sparky and Rhonda Rucker perform throughout the USA as well as overseas, singing songs and telling stories from the American folk tradition. Sparky Rucker has been performing over 40 years. You're only 52 though, Sparky, so we know you started when you were 3. And is internationally recognized as a leading folklorist, musician, historian, storyteller, and author. And I can tell you he's amazing at all those things. He accompanies himself with fingerstyle picking and bottleneck blues guitar, banjo, and spoons. Rhonda Rucker, the amazing Rhonda Rucker, is a musician, children's author, storyteller, songwriter, and also a physician. I always like to tell people that, Rhonda. Her blues style, harmonica, piano, old-time banjo, and bones add musical versatility to all of their performances. And let me get really personal right now. Sparky is so incredibly important to me in my life. I met Sparky, Shelly Enzer and I met Sparky when we were in our late 20s. We were like, and I'm not 20s anymore, by the way, okay? Just in case you were confused and thought maybe I was 23. I know. So anyway, I met Sparky in my late 20s, and Sparky changed my life. He really did. Sparky told me I was the deputy director of the ACLU of Maryland. And I came to Common Ground. I just said, okay, I'm going to sing with everybody else. And Sparky said, Lea, he said, I know singers who get paid, and you sound good and better. You need to go out and do that. And not only did I do that, with Sparky's help, Sparky used to just accompany me. I mean, God, how humble can you be? I was terrible. And I am so blessed to have Sparky in my life. And now I'm going to shut up so you can have Sparky and Rhonda in your lives. Welcome, Sparky and Rhonda.
Woo! Thank you so much.
Thanks, Lea. You know, when you said you were the minister of racial
justice,
you kind of reminded me of, like, you know, back in the old days of SNCC and the Black Panthers, Minister of Defense, you know, it'd be Huey Newton and, oh, man.
Well, please, I'm in that group. Please put me there. Okay.
Well, you know, because, you know, when I met you and you were working for ACLU, I knew we had a direct connection because I firmly believe if you want to get something changed, you got to get out there and make it happen.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
And those of you who are friends of mine know that I try to combine my activism with my art because to me, this world is worth saving.
Amen.
And right now, we're fighting this same battle over voting rights that happened when I was in my young 20s working as an activist. In fact, Rhonda has now started telling people, you know, in that over 40 years, she said, you know, I'm in my 50th year performing full time now. But I'm just 52, like you said, so I was a child star. But when it first happened to me during the civil rights movement, I'd go to those mass meetings, you know, when you're trying to get the neighborhood stirred up so they go out in force and make the changes happen. And I kept thinking, well, you know, I'm just like, 15, 16 years old. What can I do? Well, I'm a musician. And I like to sing. And I like to get people singing with me. And that's what the whole thing that happens in church, why you make them people stand up and sing them hymns together so they become out of many one. That's what this country is. E pluribus unum. We've got to stop being split apart and being mean to each other. And the way we did it back in those days, we knew we had to do it together to make it work. And that's what this song is all about. It says, we shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water, singing, we shall not be moved. We're fighting for our freedom and we shall not be moved. Fighting for our freedom and we shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water, singing, we shall not be like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. Together, we'll get it done. You hear that, Joe Manchin?
I'm going to try to intro this one back here. Hope you can see me and hear me. We're going to drop back to the, well, let me say this first. It's so wonderful seeing really good friends in the audience. This is so nice to see all these people that we haven't seen in a while, and really appreciate you tuning in and being part of this. We really do. And I see some of you singing along, and that helps us too.
Sure does.
Yeah, it's been a long pandemic, hasn't it? Anyway, we're going to drop back to the Civil War times, 1863, the early part, in fact, the springtime, down in South Carolina. There was a woman, a black woman, who was slipping onto the plantations down there near the coast. And she walked all stooped over and had all these shawls over. It looked old. And the slave owners saw her and just dismissed her, said, well, don't pay any attention to that woman. She's just, just a slave woman.
See now, old woman.
In the meantime, that woman was finding out where the rebels had planted torpedoes in the nearby river. Well, a few days later, the slaves were working right next to the river, and they saw these gunboats coming up the river. And word spread pretty quickly that these were Union gunboats. These were friendly gunboats. So they flocked down to the riverbank, hoping to be taken on board, to be taken away from slavery. And they did. They took about 750 slaves to their freedom. That expedition was called the Kumbi River Raid. It was unique for a couple of reasons. One was that all of the rank and file soldiers on board were African American. They had just started letting them fight for their own freedom. But the other reason it was unique is that woman, that black woman I told you about, who was slipping onto the plantations getting information, she was also on board. And she's somebody you've heard of. It was Harriet Tubman, who worked as a spy and a scout for the Union Army during the Civil War. A lot of the slaves down there, they hadn't heard of her, even though she had quite a price on her head at this point. But you can bet after that Kumbi River Raid, they knew exactly who she was. In fact, she had led so many people to freedom by this time, they were calling her Moses.
God's gonna trouble the water.
Thank you. Well, to continue that story, as I was saying, the slaves down there on the coastal areas, South Carolina, Georgia, a lot of them had been on the islands and isolated from the mainland so long that they had developed their own culture. And of course, we call them the Gullah people. Even their own language. The Gullah language is a combination of English and the African tribal languages. But they had never heard of Harriet Tubman because she was from way up north in Maryland. And you can bet after this Kumbi River raid, they knew exactly who she was. And according to Gullah legend, they wrote a song that I grew up singing. A lot of us grew up singing. It became a famous song. But they said they didn't write it originally as Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. They wrote it originally as Swing Low, Sweet Harriet to honor Sister Harriet Tubman. A few years ago, I've had 3 books published. In fact, there's a couple of them back here. But back in 2013, I had my first historical novel published, and it's based on the story that I just told you, and I called it Swing Low, Sweet Harriet. We're going to do that version of the song for you.
Oh, sorry. I'm starting to be that guy.
Yeah.
Swing low, sweet Harriet, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet Harriet, coming for to carry me home. I looked over Jordan, and what did I see? Come on. Coming for to carry me home. A band of angels coming after me, the Union Army, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet Harriet, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet Harriet, coming for to carry me home. I'm sometimes up and I'm sometimes down, coming for to carry me home. But still my soul feels heavenly bound, coming for to carry me home. Now won't you swing low, sweet Harriet, coming for to carry me, oh, carry me home. Swing low, sweet Harriet, coming for to carry me home. When Harriet escaped from the eastern shore of Maryland, heading north to freedom, she had a destination in mind: Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where the most famous of the Underground Railroad stops abided in Mother Bethel Church. And the station master there was a freeborn black man named William Still. He knew that one of the tragedies of escaping from slavery was not being able to make plans. Sometimes you had to just grab your hat and get out of there, leaving friends and family behind. William Still said, I'm going to change that. He took everybody's name that came through, where they came from, where they planned to settle, so that in freedom they could be reunited. If you you get there before I do. Coming for to carry me. Oh, carry me home. Tell all my friends I'm coming there too. Coming for to carry me home. Sweet Lord, sweet Harriet, coming for to carry me home. Sweet Lord, sweet Harriet, coming for to carry me home.
I'm the crowd. Woo! Yeah! Once again, everybody, you are here at Music Mondays at Govans Presbyterian Church here in Baltimore, Maryland. I'm Lea Gilmore. I'm the First Service Music Director and the Minister for Racial Justice and Multicultural Engagement. Yeah, okay, now you say it 3 times fast. So, Sparky and Rhonda Rucker are here with us singing songs of freedom, songs of joy, songs of hope, songs of pain, songs of celebration. Once again, let's go back to, before that, it's very important that you know that all of our musicians during Music Monday, the amazing people we have from all over the world, volunteer their time and their services. So we have set up a PayPal link that we can all support their work. So please feel generous and give for tonight's performance. The link will be in the chat. Maria's going to put it in there. You do not have to have PayPal in order to pay to do it, okay? All right. Thanks, guys. Sparky and Rhonda.
As I used to say, I ain't trying to be mean and nothing, but I ain't got to be up there on stage playing banjo and singing to you. I could be outside at the parking lot waiting to get you when you come out, so you better put some money in the hat. That's the way I used to get that hat full.
That only works for live concerts.
Yeah, but you can't do it on Zoom, you know.
Well, PayPal is the virtual hat. Okay, so maybe we'll start calling it the hat instead of a tip jar. That's much more visual, much more. There's a couple people who've said things to you I want to share. Bill Lehrman has said, "Hi, Sparky and Rhonda.
Yes,
Glad we could join you for this wonderful concert. Can't wait till we can all sing together." Amen, Bill. Amen. And our own, I love these people, Sparky and Rhonda. You will love, because one day we'll all be together. Wendy and Chris from Govans say, "Rhonda and Sparky, we love your music, and I just ordered your book, Rhonda. Thanks for sharing that story."
Thank you very much.
We'll put the book link in the, probably Amazon. Was that okay? We'll put the link in the...
Well, they can get it right from us.
I think that would be better if they got it from us.
Yeah, I believe it'd be better
from you.
Because once again, I could be out in the parking lot.
I know that's right. You know, and to be very honest, that artists, you know, when we sell things from Amazon, we get about 1.2 minus 10%. Okay, forget,
you get that much?
Yeah, I know. I think I got about 35 cents worth of royalties from Amazon. So
I tell you, I'm jealous of Tim's beard. I may have to borrow that beard from him when I see him next time.
Tim will be doing a performance here soon.
He could probably hide a sandwich in there. You know, people wouldn't know he had a sandwich. Well, singing in mass meetings was okay. Gave people the guts to go outside and walk through them Klan picket lines and whatnot. I got to be honest with you. It really made me feel immortal, feeling like I had the whole community behind me, you know, because we was all singing together. But sometimes you're on that picket line with just a few people. And we had to do songs that you'd make up verses on the spot sometimes, you know, just to keep singing them. And most people by now know, or if not, I'm getting ready to tell you, the movement started from Sister Rosa Parks thinking about what had happened to Emmett Till being lynched and shot through the head and thrown his body away down in the river, when she sat down on that bus and refused to get up. You know, a lot of times it's not like you can plan that you got to do these things. Sometimes you got to let the Spirit of the Lord grab you and shove you out there, you know. And that's what happened to her. She just said, this is my line. You can't cross this line anymore. And so when we sing this song, we often think about Sister Parks. If you miss me in the back of the bus, you can't find me nowhere. Oh, come on up to the front of the bus. I'll be riding right there. I'll be riding right there. I'll be riding right there. Oh, come on up to the front of the bus. I'll be riding right there. If you missed me in the cotton fields, you can't find me nowhere. Oh, come on down to City Hall. I'll be voting right there. You better believe me. Be voting right there, Lord. Yeah, I'll be voting right there. Whoa, come on down to City Hall. I'll be voting right there. If you miss me in the Mississippi River, you can't find me nowhere. Oh, come on down to the city pool. I'll be swimming right there. Oh, I'll be swimming right there. I'll be swimming right there. Oh, come on down to the city pool. I'll be swimming right there. Back of the bus, come on. If you miss me in the back of the bus, you can't find me nowhere. Oh, come on up to the front of the bus. I'll be riding right there. I'll be riding right there. I'll be riding right there. Oh, come on up to the front of the bus. I'll be riding right there.
Thank you. Well, this song comes out of Kentucky. In fact, in 1931, there was a war going on in Harlan County, Kentucky. The Harlan County Wars. Some people called it Bloody Harlan. It was between the coal mining companies and the coal miners. And there was a woman that lived in Harlan County named Florence Reese. Her husband, Sam, was a coal miner. He was a union leader. And then there was this sheriff in town. No good sheriff. Nasty no good sheriff.
No good sheriff.
I tell you what used to happen back then was that the coal mining companies would bribe the law enforcement officers. Some things never change, I believe, because it still happens. But that's what they were doing, and they gave orders for J.H. Blair to get rid of Sam. Well, he took all of his cronies to the house, the Reese household, knocked on the door. Florence answered. She told him that he was not in, which he wasn't, but they barged in anyway. They ransacked the house, and when they didn't find him, they set up watch outside. Meanwhile, Florence was left inside that house with her 7 children. She thought a lot that night. She paced a lot, paced back and forth, thinking about all that had happened, how they had been forced to take a 10% pay cut even though they were already living in poverty. She thought about how dangerous it was to be a miner, and you know, when Sam went to work in the morning, she wasn't sure whether he was going to come back alive later that night, all these things were going through her mind. Some words came to her, and she tore off a page of a wall calendar and wrote them down, put them to the tune, a popular tune of the day, and it became one of the most famous labor songs in history. In fact, it got so well known and so popular, 30 years later, people were still singing it, and they sang it during the Civil Rights Movement. You talk about a soundtrack. Civil Rights Movement had a great soundtrack. And they knew how important music was. I tell you, people, it was scary going out there and facing some of the things they had to face. So, marching out of 16th Street Baptist Church and facing Bull Connor and facing the police dogs and facing his tank and facing all of that, it was just scary. And the music that people sang, it was the glue that held people together. It gave them courage. And the labor movement people knew that more than anybody, because they used to have a saying that said, "Beware the movement that sings." Beware the movement that sings. Music is that powerful. This is the version that Florence Reese wrote.
back if we need to. Move Rhonda back to the keyboard. One of these days I'm gonna get guitar straps figured out, Tim. They keep knotting up like snakes, you know. You straighten it out, you put it down, and all of a sudden it's just like, oh. It's awful stuff you got to deal with. This song actually comes out of the 30s during the Depression, back when folks had no money, kind of like today. And thank goodness for Theodore Roosevelt, who put so many things like the WPA and the CCC and
FDR.
TVA.
You said Theodore.
Oh, I'm sorry, Franklin. Rhonda said I said I'm getting my Roosevelts mixed up. I should have blamed it on Eleanor, since she used to come to Highlander.
Or gabapentin.
Yeah, with But there were people, you've seen some of the photographs, people lined up four abreast, mile long line, just trying to get a sandwich and a bowl of soup. Presidents can't solve everything because they need a legislature to work with them. We're a three-tiered government. And that legislature ain't working too good right now. I think it's time to throw the bums out myself. That's just my opinion. You know, and help them on the way out by just a little bit of shoe leather. Only a tramp was Lazarus that day. He who lay down by the rich man's gate. He begged for some crumbs from the rich man to eat, but they left him to die like a tramp on the street. He was some mother's darling, some mother's son. Once he was fair and once he was young. Some mother, she rocked him, her little darling, to sleep, but they left him to die like a tramp on the street. Jesus, he died on Calvary's tree, shed his life's blood for you and for me. They pierced his side, Lord, his hands and his feet. Then they left him to die like a tramp on the street. He was Mary's own darling, God's chosen son. You know, once he was fair and once he was young. And Mary, she rocked him, her little darling, to sleep, let him come in and take from your store? Or would you turn him away with nothing to eat? Would you leave him to die like a tramp on the street? Mary's own darling. He was Mary's own darling, God's chosen son. Once he was fair and once he was young. Mary, she rocked him, little darling, to sleep, but they left him to die like a tramp on the street. That song was for all those Ku Klux Christians out there that don't seem to understand the way they're supposed to behave. If you claim something, dadgummit, you got to do it. No matter what you call. I love Bob Zintz's song on All Thy Names Are One. That's such a wonderful song. Because we're all, those of us who are spiritual, we're all worshiping the same being. No matter what the name you call, and you know, everybody don't speak English, especially people down my way. We speak that their countrified English, you know. That's that true English. We say things like varmint and youngin' and all them words. This is words from Shakespeare's time. All the way some of these people in the mountains talk, they speak that original English. So what we're going to do next, Rhonda? What do you want to do? You want to do that one? I hope my voice can handle it. I may have to get Lea to kind of transport herself over here and sing some of the notes I can't hit right now.
I'm there, Sparky. I don't think Zoom will appreciate it, but I sure would.
That's what Zoom was meant for, was to do a little bit of that Captain Kirk stuff.
There you go. I wish somebody get very wealthy if they figure this delay out in Zoom. Okay.
I want them to have it figured out before they tell me to do it. I'm already scattered.
All right.
A lot of times the songs we sang during the movement weren't songs we knew the name of the person who wrote it. It was so old, we just kind of took them from that King James version and some of them songs, and then we changed the words around. Paul and Silas, they began. Oh, sorry. Paul and Silas, they were bound in jail. Had no money for to go their bail. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Paul and Silas, they began to shout. Jail doors open and they walked out. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. did wrong. We stayed in the wilderness a day too long. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Hold on. Won't you keep your eyes on the prize? Hold on. Jail doors open and they walked out, is what they said. But my favorite verse goes like this. The only chains that we can stand, brothers and sisters walking hand in hand. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Won't you keep your eyes on the prize? Hold on. One more time. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on.
Woo!
Eyes on the
Yes. Woo! Sparky and Rhonda Rucker. Once again, everyone, we're Govans Presbyterian Church, and you are welcome here at any time. And let me tell you, the thing about Govans, you know what what Sparky was just talking about. Govans is a Christ-centered church, but we don't believe we have all the answers, nor do we believe we have the onus on the truth. Everyone here is welcome. Everyone here is welcome. We are LGBTQ welcoming. We are welcoming of all people from all walks. Look, I'm here, so you know they got to be welcome because I'm a crazy person. So, but please join us on Sunday mornings. Right now, we're still virtual with this Omicron surge happening. Hopefully, on the other way, we're virtual, so you can join us at 10 a.m. I'll be singing. The choir will be singing. You will be singing. We just have a fabulous time in the Lord, and so I'm going to shut up and give it back to Sparky and Ron. You've got time for about two more guys.
All right.
Okay,
I think it's time for an Old Testament song.
Well, I just want to say I was just noticing all of my friends from the West Coast. What is this, lunchtime for you people? Gayla's there, there's Brack, you know, my old traveling buddy. Oh my goodness! Can everybody see everybody? Or is it just
if you put gallery?
If they have it on gallery, if you put it on gallery, you guys can see. Oh wait, but you can't see me because I turned it off.
Yeah.
I love you folks. I've been missing. I tell you the truth. We got to start complying because we got to get this pandemic over. Because I got 3 or 4 neighbors I'm about to wear out.
Well, let's do this Old Testament song. This truly is an Old Testament song.
Don't sing it too high. I won't be able to sing it.
I'm going to play an Old Testament instrument. I'm going to play the bones on this.
Is this King James version of Old Testament?
It's the King James version.
Okay.
The one Jesus used.
The one Jesus used, yeah. The red letter edition.
People actually did do archaeological digs and find bones that they used as a musical instrument in the city of Ur. So
they didn't find no banjos there.
No, they didn't find any banjos.
I bet you there were some banjos that existed during that time.
Ezekiel saw the wheel.
Way up in the middle of the air, Ezekiel saw a wheel turning way in the middle of the air.
And faith wheel runs by faith.
Run by faith and a little wheel run by the grace of God. Wheel and a wheel turning way in the middle of the air.
Let me tell you what a hypocrite will do.
Way in the middle of the air.
He'll talk about me and I'll talk about you.
way in the middle of the air.
And Ezekiel saw
Saw wheel way up in the middle of the air. Ezekiel saw wheel turning way in the middle of the air.
And faith wheel runs
It'll run by faith, it will run by the grace of God. Wheel and a wheel turning way in the
middle of the air. Watch out, sister, when you walk on frost.
way in the middle of the air.
Your foot might slip and your soul get
Whoops, way in the middle of the air.
And Ezekiel saw
He saw wheel way up in the middle of the air. Ezekiel saw wheel turning way in the middle of the air.
And faith wheel runs by faith.
Run by faith, it will run by the grace of God. Wheel and a wheel turning way in the
middle of the air. One of these days, about 12 o'clock.
way in the middle of the air.
This old world's gonna reel and
Woo! Way in the middle of the air.
And Ezekiel saw the
Saw wheel way up in the middle of the air. Ezekiel saw wheel turning way in the middle of the air.
And faith wheel runs by faith.
Run by faith, it will run by the grace of God. Wheel and a wheel turning way in the middle
of the air. And Ezekiel saw the
Saw wheel way up in the middle of the air.
Ezekiel saw the
Turning way in the middle of the air.
And faith wheel runs by faith.
Run by faith, it will run by the grace of God. Wheel and a wheel turning way in the
middle of the
That was always my go-to instrument when we play for little kids, you know. But I always had to make sure that we did the show after cafeteria time, because if you did it before cafeteria time, the spoons kept disappearing from the cafeteria. And I would be getting a bill for, like 100 spoons. I go, wait a minute, that just must... What we gonna do, Rhonda? What we gonna do?
I think we're closing out here.
We got it. You mean it's over with?
It's over with.
I'm just getting warmed up.
You just remembered the words from the first song.
Hey, yeah, I just finally got the words right. One of the things I liked learning was songs from some of my mentors. I've had a bunch of them in my day. Rhonda calls it my old man fix. But now if I want an old man fix, I just look in the mirror. But one of my mentors was a blind street singer named Reverend Pearlie Brown. Came out of Americus, Georgia. And he was very active in the civil rights movement. In fact, when I was doing those tours, those Southern Folk Cultural Revival Project tours, we were showing people that black and white could work together. This is back in the 60s when I was doing this, when they were still shooting folk up in places like what that song Rhonda did about Which Side Are You On? But Reverend Brown and I got to tour a lot together with Alice Gerard and Hazel Dickens. Some of you may know some of those songs. And we were singing way deep south. And we had some run-ins with the law and the Klan and whatnot, but we said, we can't let them beat us. We are in the right. No matter what happens, we are in the right. And we do these concerts, and we close out with Reverend Brown playing this song. We'd sing with him. He said he learned it from his grandmother, who had been a slave. He said sometimes when they'd take him to the auction block, they'd sell him off without letting them even say goodbye to each other. Imagine being that mean to people that you've got complete control over, not let them say goodbye to the youngins, the mothers and fathers. Goodbye, goodbye. If I never see you anymore. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. I will meet you on the other shore. Won't you pray hard pray hard if I never see you anymore. Won't you pray hard? Pray hard. I will meet you on the other shore. Won't you live the life? Live the life. If I never see you anymore, live the life, live the life. I will meet you on the other. Come on now, Rhonda. Singing fairly well, fairly well. If I never see you anymore, singing fairly well, fairly well. I will meet you on the singing goodbye. If I never see you anymore, singing goodbye, goodbye. I will meet you on the other shore.
Oh my goodness.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Sparky and Rhonda Rucker, just brilliant. Sparky's definitely one of my mentors, so I thank God that that has been a part of my life. Sparky and Rhonda, you have touched so many people, so many, and especially the people in these squares tonight. Brilliant, brilliant. Just what we need as we are swimming these incredible shores of crazy right now, still working on voting rights in 2022. The songs inspire and galvanize to work for change and justice. So God bless your walk. God bless you.